Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Proverbs with Paul in the afternoon, this very wet, rainy afternoon. Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 7. The rich rules over the poor, and the borrowers become the lender's slave. The rich rule over the poor. How true of a reality is that statement? Solomon saw even back then that the rich who have all of the possessions take control of the moment in the existence of who they are. So the rich are controlling the dynamics of life, and they rule over the poor, so they control the poor. And he noticed that those who borrow from the lender, they become the slave of the lender. So they're imprisoned. And how true a statement is that in these days, when we look at our world today, and we see that very few people own most of the wealth in the earth. Very few people, these multi-trillionaires, they have so much, and they're controlling the nations. They're controlling governments, manipulating and controlling. And so Solomon, way back there, like 3,000 years ago, was making declarations that have only escalated in the context of history. But even individually, when we become enslaved to owing money, everything starts to break down and we can never get ahead. One of the problems of the third world countries for many years was they could never get anyone to lend to them at a reasonable price in terms of an interest. And so they were in effect excluded from a piece of the pie. And that's why they were oppressed and suppressed for so many years. Things are changing now, but they're buying into the same mistake that we in the West have bought into for hundreds of years. Being controlled by anything is bad. And Solomon noticed that those who are controlled by money were really truly in bondage, because they could take away the borrowers anything and everything, to the point whereby you would become their slave. Where did all this come from? Do you know, when Jesus confronted the devil in the desert, having been in the wilderness for 40 days without food and drink, he fasted without food and without drink. In that period of time, he was exhausted, and the devil came to him and revealed something to him. He showed Jesus that he was the controller of this world, the prince of this world, he calls himself. And he said he obtained that control over humanity. When God created humanity, he didn't create humanity or the earth for the devil to reign. He created humanity and the earth so that Adam would reign. But Adam's rebellion and disobedience gave the devil the empowerment to take charge of what he should have taken charge of. Adam gave up his birthright to the devil, and the devil has been spoiling it ever since. Thank you for joining me. Be blessed. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.